Hi, my name is Ariadna. I'm a violinist, educator, and Alexander Technique practitioner. I'm going to guide you through a posture reset to optimize your practice session. You might want to have a mirror handy so that you can check in with your posture and how it feels versus how it looks. I recommend going through this exercise standing up, but if you have to sit down, that's okay. Just make sure that you position yourself closer to the edge of the seat, feeling a sort of four-footedness with your feet on the floor and your sits bones on the chair. Make sure that your seat is firm enough and tall enough to support you. Let's begin. Place your feet roughly hip-width apart, centering your weight equally on both legs. Notice the floor beneath your feet. Allow your knees to be soft. Feel the weight of your pelvis. And notice your breathing. I'm going to frequently bring your attention to your breathing because it's very common for violinists to hold their breath while playing. We're going to focus on your head-neck-back relationship. Neck tension typically lies at the root of shoulder, arm, and hand tension, which will affect your sound production, accuracy, and dexterity. In your mind or out loud, repeat the direction, allow my neck to be free, my whole back to lengthen and widen. Now imagine that you're standing in a body of water, where the water level is roughly at your fingertips. The water level is going to slowly begin to rise, and with it your arms are going to float up in front of you, roughly at a 45-degree angle. Think of the fingertips lengthening out of your hands, and mentally create a line all the way from the spine down your arms. It might feel good to allow a big inhale here. Your rib cage should be expanding with each breath. It's okay that it lifts a little bit as your arms come up. When you make it all the way over your head, rotate your arms inward so the palms are facing each other. And reach a little bit higher towards the ceiling, allowing the shoulders to come with. Feels like a nice stretch. And then drop the shoulders, leaving the arms up. Allow your neck to be free, your whole spine to lengthen. Now we're going to let the arms float back down. And I'm aiming to end up kind of in violin playing shape. So my left arm is going down with the elbow leading, and my bow arm is going down as if I'm going to hold the bow. So we end up roughly here. Now shift your weight slightly to the back of the foot on the heels. Notice if that causes any stiffening along your backside. And then lean back to center and a little bit onto the balls of the feet. So the idea here is that you don't want to be leaning back and you don't necessarily want to be leaning forward too much, but it's good to be just ever so slightly towards the front of the foot. Release the knees. Soften the space behind your eyes and notice where you are in space. Your arms may begin to get tired. If you need to lower them, just slowly float them back down. Picking up the violin should not alter your posture that we just created too much. So you don't want the instrument to get in the way of what your body naturally needs to do for it to optimally function. As you think about picking up your violin, maybe your case is not unzipped yet, so you know that you're going to have to open up your case, take the violin out, put the shoulder rest on. Notice if your body is kind of preparing ahead of time. Maybe there is excess tension that's beginning to creep into your neck. You kind of want to go. So pause for a second, allow your neck to be free. Your whole back to lengthen and widen, and go ahead and pick up the violin. The physical object of the violin by itself is a big stimulus to our nervous system. We may have emotional history attached to it, fears, or too much excitement. You may be just starting out and learning how to pick up the violin for the first time, or maybe you used to play and now refamiliarizing yourself with it, or perhaps you practice every day already. In any case, this is a good approach if you want your practice to be as efficient and mindful as possible. So now feel the weight of the violin in your hands and send the weight of the instrument all the way down to your feet. You're going to keep the left hand on the shoulder of the violin for now and use both hands to bring the violin up to playing position. I'm not changing my shoulders, I'm not changing my neck. The only thing I'm going to do is slightly turn my head to the left and drop the chin onto the chin rest. The joint is behind our eyes, where the very top of the spine is. So while you're here, actually go ahead and mentally draw the line all the way from the tailbone, up the spine, to the space behind your eyes. This is the full length of your spine. We often think of the neck as its own body part, but it's actually an extension of the spine, and it's good to remember that. So the weight of the head will help us hold the violin. Now, if I wanted to let go with the arm, I can, but that's not necessarily a goal to be like able to stand that way forever. It will be less stable with just the head. This is a good point to check in with your setup, which is the chin rest and shoulder rest combination. You want to make sure that the shape and the height of the shoulder rest accommodates your neck length and your shoulders, just your body in general, so that you are not forced to lift up the shoulder at all to hold the violin up. Not at this stage anyway. The shoulder will help with shifts later on, maybe a tiny bit, but the point is to keep coming back to the neutral. Now let's review the bow hold. I'm not going to get into terrible detail about it right now, but it is kind of part of the posture, so I will quickly guide you through it. We are going to meet the tip of the thumb with the last joint of the middle finger opposite each other on the stick right here, kind of next to the little bump of the frog. Let the index finger drop, let the ring finger drop, and the pinky is on top. So the tip of the pinky is on top of the stick. Notice how the pinky is round and the thumb is round. So there's kind of a semicircle situation going on in the hand. It's difficult to balance the bow this way as a beginner. So when you're first setting up the hand, you may want to hold the bow with the left hand, maybe without the violin in your hand, like I'm doing right now. But I'm going to bring the violin back up to playing position, keep my left hand on the shoulder of the violin, and place the middle of the bow hair onto the A string. The A string is the second string from the right. So this gives you another opportunity to kind of check in with your bow hold, because just picking up the bow and bringing it to the string can already cause the hand to change shape 1,000 times. So just notice that the thumb is bent, the pinky is bent. Let the bow weight rest on the string. So your arm is not actually holding up the bow at all. It's just preventing it from falling off the string. You're going to, once again, check in with the ground. Your feet on the floor. Unlock your knees. Let your pelvis have its weight, so your lower back is not arching and your mid back is not arching. You're using only your arms to lift the violin. I'm going to show you. I don't want you to break your back like so. You're maintaining that lively upright posture, letting the rib cage move, allowing your neck to be free, your whole back to lengthen and widen. Release your glute muscles. Sometimes while practicing, I notice that I'm clenching my butt. Now we're going to make your first sound. Pull the bow down by straightening the elbow. Go as far to the tip as your arm comfortably allows. Allow your neck to be free, your whole back to lengthen and widen, and play an up bow. This exercise may seem to be tediously slow, but remember, it's meant to help us rewire our neuromuscular pattern, change our habitual pattern that may not be serving us in the long run when it comes to practicing and advancing as violinists. Down the line, the more you do this, the more this will become kind of a background, more subconscious thing. It's still important to maintain a high level of awareness of what's going on, because violin playing is simply too complex of a task to let it all go on autopilot. But I think the biggest thing for you at this point, if this is new to you, is to bring your attention back to your neck, the way your head balances on the neck, your back, repeating the direction. Allow my neck to be free, my whole back to lengthen and widen. Notice your breathing and check in with the ground. I find that those are key elements. When I'm practicing, whether it's a scale that I'm just playing really slowly to work on my tone, or if I'm working on a fast passage, I constantly have to come back to gravity and allow excessive muscular tension to release so that I can become more in touch with what parts of my body actually have to be working to move, hold up the instrument, and produce the sound. After a while, the sound itself becomes feedback for what's going on in your body. You will learn to hear when there's too much tension and you're not letting the bow hair make the string resonate at its maximum capacity, versus when the sound kind of spins freely through the room. I hope this was helpful. Please don't hesitate to drop me a line, write me an email if you have any questions, or if you just want to share your experience about this. Happy practicing!